A little over a year ago, I made the decision to go out there and work with life coaches and healers because it was life coaches and healers that had helped me, get healthy in my life. And what I realized was after this year of working with life coaches and healers, I actually got the industry completely wrong. And I want to tell you exactly what I mean by that and exactly how you can take advantage of it in your life coaching and healing business, just like my wife and I did here in this video. Get 'em!
We all win when we all win. We all win when we all win.
Hey, I'm Super Sid, the Marketing Shaman, and I help life coaches and healers go out there and find more freedom in their lives so they can create more impact in the world. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about how I got the life coaching industry completely wrong and how I found out recently that it's a lot bigger of a giant than I actually realized when I began. I'm going to talk to you specifically about the things that I realized were wrong and the things that once I realized those things were wrong, what we used over the past year to not only sign up over 250 clients for our coaching and our healing businesses, but how it helped us 10x our coaching and our healing businesses, all because I got this one thing wrong. So without any further ado, let's head into this video. All right, so first things first, what is a life coach? So for those of you that are new to my channel and maybe you're first hearing of life coaching, or maybe you've heard it for a while but you don't exactly know what it is, right? That was one of the initial things that I found made wrong, or one of the initial decisions or things that I realized was wrong when I started looking at life coaches and looking at them as life coaches. And that was one of the biggest things I realized when I first met my wife. See, what really got me turned on to life coaches and healers specifically in holistic style healing was when I initially met my wife a few years back, and we met at Entrepreneurs at a Business Mastermind. When we met, she initially told me that she was a life coach, but I remember thinking, like, what exactly does that mean, right? Because I figured that life coaches would just expand over like all these different areas and all these different niches, and that it was just a term that was overly used and, to be honest, kind of like used and worn out, right? People were wearing out this term of life coach to a point to where, like, when you said you were a life coach, it was kind of like saying you were a realtor. It didn't really mean, everybody's a realtor, everybody's a life coach, right? So I mean, like, it kind of was like, okay, what exactly does that mean? So ultimately, right, like I started looking at, okay, well, are they technically a life coach? Are they technically a life coach? And then I started realizing that life coaches are spread so far and that the life coaching industry is so much bigger than I think not only what I realized a year ago, but how much it is growing because of that. There's so many new life coaches that are coming out there. People that I'm talking to that are going and spending all this money on getting degrees and all this stuff to come out and say, I don't want to go out there and be an engineer. I don't want to go out there and do this. I don't want to go out there and like find a job, doing what I studied to go out there and measly make $30,000 or $40,000 a year. I want to go out there and take a chance on myself. I want to go out there and become an entrepreneur. I want to go out there and become a life coach, helping people with something that I've been good at since I was little. And I think we've seen this massive surge of people realizing they can go out there and be entrepreneurs and make a lot more money as an entrepreneur, being a coach, being someone that can help somebody with a problem and help someone solve that problem because they have a natural ability of being able to do that. And I think when we remember that it doesn't have to be overly complicated, I just recently did a video talking about the number one thing I learned from Brooke Castile's speech, from Life Coach School. And one of the biggest things that I talk about in that video is the simplicity. You can go watch that video here on my channel. I recently put it up. But one of the biggest things that you want to notice about, what she talked about in her speech was the simplicity. And ultimately, right, when you're looking at your life coaching business or your healing business, or you're looking right at your life, the simpler that we are, typically the happier that we are. And that's what we're all after, right? The freedom that leads to happiness and that leads to joy that we all desire, regardless of whatever that is. So one of the first things I realized that I was wrong about was that you cannot view life coaches as life coaches. You just can't, right? There's going to be so many different segments and so many different niches. And I think instead of viewing them as life coaches, life coaches and what we should be viewing ourselves as instead of life coaches is viewing ourselves as the person that helps with the thing that people want in the niche that they are in, or in the group of people that they are in. What is the group of people that you want to help? And then ultimately, what are you helping them with? That becomes your own little special thing. It doesn't mean that's the only thing you're ever going to coach in. It doesn't mean that you can't help the world. But what it does mean is that you're going to be the expert in that small thing. And then once you become the expert in that small thing, you can go to a little bit of a bigger thing and then a little bit of a bigger thing. But ultimately, right, like we want to make sure that we don't just identify ourselves as a life coach, we identify ourselves as a specialist who specifically help with this one specific thing. The next thing I got wrong about the life coaching industry and business was ultimately when it came to the life coaching industry and business, I didn't realize, right, how fast it was growing, right? You look at like the knowledge-based industry and you look at coaching and you look at like online businesses and you look at, this flood of people leaving their 9-to-5 jobs to go and start, essentially becoming, a life coach, because a life coach helps anybody between health, wealth, and relationships. And my golly, that's a lot of people, right? So ultimately, you see this big flood of people coming and getting certified, or people coming and declaring and putting their flag in the ground and calling themselves a life coach and going out there and looking to help people. So like when I saw like this massive influx, right? It wasn't just like, oh, well, it's people who are in their 30s or upper 20s, or we're seeing so many people, right? Even teenagers coming up through the ranks and taking advantage of becoming a life coach or a healer simply because they're able to help people in regards to health, wealth, or relationships. And then through being able to help those people with health, wealth, or relationships, what are they able to do? Well, they're able to go out there and help someone get to a result quicker than they could do on their own. They figured out a process or a framework to be able to do that. And they're simply playing as the guide to help them get there faster. And they're getting paid a lot of money to do that. So ultimately, when we look at this marketplace, it's such an amazing marketplace to dive into, because you don't have to look about it as, hey, I'm gonna go be one of a zillion life coaches out there, or nobody's really gonna know who I am. You can go out there and be a specialist within this extremely fast growing industry of life coaching. And as that specialist, you, my friend, can go out there and become, right, one of the ones that's gonna go out there and not only find freedom in your life through being that specialist, but you're gonna be able to create all the impact that you've ever wanted to create, which is gonna get you that freedom that you desire. Are you looking to start a life coaching or healing business? Maybe you're wanting to become one. Maybe you're getting ready to go and become certified. Maybe you just got certified, but regardless, you're looking to use this life coaching or healing business to go out there and find more freedom in your life so you can create a lot more impact, right, in the world. If that sounds like you, I just got done finishing a course for you, and I want to give it to you absolutely free. This course is my entire course. I've sold this course for thousands of dollars in the past. It's my entire course showing you exactly how you can go out there and create your first or your next $10,000, what we call a 10K payday, for your coaching or your life coaching or your healing business here in the next 30 days or less. It's absolutely free, and there's a link down there in the description for you to go out there and for you to grab that right now. So make sure you go down there and you take advantage of that. And don't forget, we all win when we all win. Let's go out there and make a choice to win today, not only by subscribing to this channel, but going down there and grabbing your free resource from me of my free course, right, helping you go out there and create your first or your next 10K payday. We'll see you on the inside. See you in the next video.